Right, so I haven't really done any math massively as yet. Basically, I laid a couple of flame altars out right next to each other, and I've worked out that with a 160 by 160, which is the max, you can pretty much build to the end of that platform over there where we were previously, and you'll easily cover the end of this little flat platform over here to just in front of me here as well. The other thing that I've done is just removed only one tree down there next to that really big one, and I've got a pretty darn good view of the tower over there. And I removed about, I don't know, half a dozen trees from just down on the ground just here, and a couple from this little flat platform here, which I'll probably end up building a little cabin or something on at some stage anyway. The other thing I didn't mention before is that there's plenty of flowers that live over here as well, so you've got plenty of resource for that. And the other thing that's really handy while you're building as well, as you'll see on screen here, is even though I don't have the shrine upgraded yet, I actually don't intend to as yet, what you'll have is, you'll see down there not far from the edge of my building zone, that you get around about 10 to 12 enemies actually spawn every night. So if you're hunting for shroud core, you can get tons of it from there. You can just farm it from there, and you could even just utilize just this flame shrine while you're doing other things, and come and farm the enemies that spawn just to the right there. And they also spawn just over here as well every night. There's around about 2 to 3 that spawn just up here as well on this flat surface. So there's tons of them around, and if you're after shroud spores, it's a really good opportunity to farm them, and really easy to do so. As I mentioned, what I've worked out, around about 4 times the distance with a fully upgraded level 4 flame would be around about over here. So what I sort of envisage for this space in general would be sort of setting up a little town of sorts. You know, roads in between and paths in between different residences, that sort of thing. You could fill this entire space over here, all of this flat platform, tons of space to build, just because of where I've got the flame. And even though I mentioned previously I was probably thinking of setting the flame just sort of closer into the wall there, but having had a look at it, by the time you get to 160 by 160, I will definitely easily have enough space to build over there, easily. So I won't be able to do a full sort of massive hobbit cave, you know, 50 layers down or whatever, but there'll be enough to do quite a significant amount of space there. And the main, you know, thing that I really envisage for this space anyway is doing a little bit of a town and having, you know, different spaces in that town. You can have this space here, and there's a lot of cool lighting that happens over here at night time as well, and that's why I really dig this place as well. This place here kind of glows green at night, which is really cool. It gets a little faint kind of shroud glow to it, which I'm really digging. And same over the other side with the flame as well. That kind of lights everything up pretty well just because of where it's positioned. And over here you get a little bit of a sort of faint green kind of light from the shroud beneath as well. So I'm really digging that. I think it's quite cool. Alright, well, that's pretty much it for us for this one. Just wanted to give you the little rundown on what this place looks like at night, and how the shroud flame's going to sit. You've got a pretty straight run here from the shroud to this little platform over here where I am as well, and also to the other platform over here. So I think the position for the flame is going to be just perfect, and it's sitting right on top of that rock that we were looking at previously, right in the middle of everything. So it's going to be a darn good place. So it'll be something that we look at It'll be a long-term build, definitely, because it's going to take a hell of a long time. And as you'll see there, that's the platform I was talking about previously. You can get from that shroud platform over to the little platform just over there. Pretty much the same level, and to this one here is almost exactly the same level, so you can come straight across to where I'd probably set out a lot of the town. I'd probably envisage sort of doing a my residence or something like that over to this side, built in the trees, within the trees, above the trees, not really sure, but I'll work it out as I go. I think I'll probably have it slightly elevated and maybe even up sort of in between these giant trees that are here. Maybe even sort of around here and around here with lookouts over there, but I'll work it out as I go. But as I said, it's a long-term proposition. It's going to take me a hell of a long time, but as I said, I just wanted to point out how great of a position this is, and it's a position that's not really known. And if you are looking to get down to the zones that are close by, I mentioned the cabins and the shroud that's down the bottom as well. You can actually run down this hill here and run back up it. You have to sort of glitch and spam jump and double jump to get back up here, but it's doable. So that's actually quite handy. Right, so what we've done now is gone ahead and updated the flame to level 2. And as I was mentioning before, you've got a pretty big scope now with build distance. I've got almost all of that platform down there covered. I've got probably halfway up the hill here, and the other big thing about the placement of that flame as well was it lines up pretty much perfectly with this little hill here. And I mentioned that I'm also going to be utilizing this hill here as a build spot also. It's a perfect spot to build other little buildings as well, because you've got great views of that side of the range and great views of the other side of the range, and it's a great looking little outcrop that's quite narrow with fantastic views on either side. And so now what I've done as well is bought enough here to upgrade the altar. So I'm now going from level 2 to 3 and level 3 to 4. So now I've got my building area of 160 that I was after. And as we suspected, just from having a glance at it earlier, got all the way to that wall and past, which is fantastic. So I've got tons of space, and I've got probably about half of that hill just up to my right hand side there to build upon as well. And in terms of building over here, as I was pretty much hoping for, I've got quite a bit of that platform there that I can utilise up to here. It's a fairly large amount. Ideally I probably would have liked a little bit more, but what I was looking at before in terms of trying to keep the building spots sort of equal, I couldn't actually reach all the way out to here, and that was my primary goal, was to reach the end of here. This is the space that I wanted as my sort of primary zone to build upon, was this end of the platforms up here. So overall, pretty damn happy with having a look at that. And as we were looking at up here and hoping for up here in terms of space, I just wanted to be able to utilize a little bit of this space up here in terms of building perhaps just a small base up here as well to reach both sides and get a view from both sides of the platform. The other thing I can do, if I feel like it, is just go ahead and build another altar up here, and if I really want to get some access to a further section of this, but having had a look at it already, I only really wanted to just have a little bit of access up here and not build a massive base up here. It was all, as I mentioned from the beginning, about just building small sections, and my main goal was the section that I'm looking at here. This main platform here, this is what my real goal was, just to be able to build something here. The fact that I'm able to build a little bit of a section into the back of this mountain here, a bit of a dwarven cabin, that's a little bit of extra, and I mean that's going to be a massive undertaking anyway, so it's going to take me a hell of a lot of time to even get to the point where I can even think about doing that build. So, you know, I've still got a few hundred hours to spend on the 2 builds that I currently have going. So this was just a little for the future thing. And the main reason that I actually started this was just because I stumbled across this region and this zone and just went, oh my God, what a great place for a base. So that's the only reason we started here. All right, well, as I said, that's it for us. It just gives you a bit of an idea on what utilizing this space here on the map can do, and the views that you get from here. I truly believe that it is the best place in game thus far that I've seen of any of the places to actually build a base. Bear in mind as well, if you feel like it and you actually don't like any of the land that you have here and you want to actually get a better view of the tower or the valley here, you can actually just get your pickaxe out and pull it all to pieces. So don't forget that as well. Alright, well, that'll be it for us for this episode. We'll catch up with you next time.